Welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas. And just a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And also, thank you for all the emails, the support, the stories that you guys have shared on email. I will be posting them on Facebook, with your permission, of course. And I like to hear from you. I know that I have chatted with a few of you on Facebook, and I like to hear from you. So, let's get into today's episode, okay? So on today's episode, I want to start with a very big important question. What do you want? Now, this question gets asked a lot by a lot of people. Now that I'm paying attention to like life coaches or other people that I listen to, or all these motivational speakers, even doctors, they will ask you whenever you go see somebody or whenever you want something and you ask for help, they're gonna ask you like, what do you want? And the best way to describe it is like when you go see a doctor, they will ask you like, what's the reason for your visit? That's literally asking you, what do you want? Or why do you come? Like, like why are you here? Like, what do you want? That's what the doctor will ask you. And sometimes you're just like, well, I want you to fix the issue. But we don't know exactly what the issue is. And one of the things that I have realized with my wife and all the people that I have talked to is that because we don't know what we want and we don't know exactly what we have, we don't know if we're going to get it. Like when you're a spoonie, and for example with fibromyalgia, it's a rare condition. It's a very misdiagnosed condition. It's a misunderstood condition. Like nobody knows a lot about it. The doctors don't know about it. There's no like a doctor that you can tell like, oh, that's the best doctor in regards to fibromyalgia. There are some that are good because they listen. There are some that are horrible because they don't listen. Because when they ask you like, what do you want? And you say, well, I want you to help me with my pain. What the first thing that they're gonna think is that, oh, this person wants pills, That's pretty much what you look like, what you want. But you don't want that. That's the problem. And because we don't know what we want, we just come up with the first solution. It's like, oh, I'm in pain. Well, I need help with this pain. But what we should be saying in this situation, and this is because of some of my wife's doctors, the way that they reacted, it kind of made me realize this. Is like, when you're in pain, you don't have to say like, oh, I want to deal with this pain. It's like, I want to manage this pain however it's possible. That's what I want. Now, the doctor might not be able to help you because they don't know your pain, but if what you want is to get better, if what you want is to feel better, then you have to come up with a plan. You have to come up with more information from yourself so you can tell the doctor like, hey, my pain happens most of the time because the weather changes, or when I do too much, or when I do this, or when I eat this. You have to give more information besides like the quick answer as to what you want. That's the biggest problem that we're having right now. Like, we don't know exactly what we want or how we want it. We just want it. This isn't like, and I'm going to be very honest, like this is in prime. When you go to a doctor or when you decide to do something for yourself, or when you decide to do something that you want, it's not going to be fast. It's not going to happen right away. It's not going to happen like in an instant. You're not going to get it the next day. It's going to take time. And that's one of the issues that in today's society we're having the biggest problem with that, because people just want it that day. People just want it the fastest, the easiest way. We don't want to wait. We don't want to do anything sometimes. And I'm not saying specifically you, but there's a lot of people that they just want the doctor or somebody else to fix the issue. They don't want to deal with the issue. It happens a lot with society, with people with depression, with people with anxiety. That's how I was. Like when I knew I was depressed and I had anxiety and I had panic attacks, I'm like, I just want something to fix this. But the only way to fix it is pretty much dealing with your feelings. And when my wife got sick, what I had to do in that situation when my wife got sick, I had to set an intention that I want to get better. I need to get better. And pretty much what I asked myself is like, okay, what do I want to do? Now that I have my diagnosis of PTSD and my wife is sick, what do I want? Well, what I wanted was to get better. What I wanted was to become a better caregiver. What I wanted was to become a better person so I could take care of my wife. That's what I wanted. And then I came up with a plan. In this case, I went to therapy. That was the plan. Go through it. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard. I had to go through my own storm in my mind where I was able to control everything, go through all the feelings, go through all the darkness, go through everything, and then I came on the other end a victor. I'm a victor at this point, but every day is gonna be a challenge. Every day you're gonna have a bad day. Every day you're gonna have a good day. So everything depends on what you want. So if you don't know what you want, how are you going to get it? You're just going to wonder, literally thinking like, what do I want? Do I want to get better? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? So if you want to express yourself, let me put it to you this way. If you want to express yourself, how can you express yourself? Are you good at drawing? Are you good at music? Are you good at dancing? Are you good at cooking? Like, there's a way for you to express yourself if you want to express yourself. If you want to become a better person, what do you need to read? What do you want? That's the main question. And I'm going to ask this question a lot. What do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, again, how are you going to get it? That's what I wanted to talk about on today's episode, because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was mentioning the story about my wife, about how when she became sick, I was like, I have to do something. I want to get better so I can take care better of my wife. And I say, I want to get better, and I'm going to get better. And I did. I came up with a plan. I asked for help from my wife. She helped me. I got better. And one of the things that this person says, like, well, I think that's the best. I think that's the difference. I kind of forgot how they put it, or how she put it, or how the person put it. Sorry. The biggest difference between you and me is that you know what you wanted at that point. I still don't know what I want. And I ask, how come you don't know what you want? And the person said, like, well, it's because I'm a spoonie. I'm taking care of all these people. I'm taking care of myself. So I feel tired. I feel that I don't have time to take care of myself or go for what I want or come up with a plan. And that is true. You might be tired. You might be busy. You might have other things going on. But one of the things that I realized, and anybody, if you go see a life coach, if you go see a fitness coach or somebody like to help you with your life or anything, they're going to ask you, like, what do you want and how can we come up with a plan? Like, what's the plan of action? Like, they come up with a plan. Now, if you want to get help from somebody like that, you can. It's up to you, but obviously they charge, so a lot of people are not able to afford it. So that's why I'm pretty much doing this, because I don't want you to waste money when you need the money for other things like medications, things like that. So that's why I feel that it's better if you do your own research most of the time. Like, if you look inside you as to what exactly you want, what exactly you need to do to get to that goal, what exactly is your plan, you have to come up with a plan. That's another thing. You have to have a plan, or the goal is not going to matter. No matter if you come up right now with your want, like you say, like, okay, I want to walk at least 1,000 steps a day or 2,000 steps a day. Like a small goal. You have to start small just to see if you can do it, okay? Depending on your pain, depending on your situation, you have to start small. So let's say you want to walk like 2,000 steps. Well, if you don't get up and walk, you're never gonna reach that goal. If you let's say you go to your mailbox and it's 100 steps, and you're like, okay, I can do 100 steps, so it's 100 steps going there and then 100 steps coming back, so maybe I can do that multiple times a day. But if you only decide to do it once and then just pretty much sit the rest of the day, then that's not the plan. The same thing happens when you're in pain. Like, you have to come up with a plan so you can find the solution and reach what you want. In this case, it will be getting better. That's exactly what you need to do. And like I said, this is not just me talking. This is actually the research. You can listen to Tony Robbins. You can listen to all these motivational speakers or of life coaches, and they will ask you, what do you want? There are some life coaches and fitness coaches and even doctors that if you don't tell them what do you want, they will say, like, you're just wasting my time. So and obviously we don't want you to waste somebody else's time, because you're going to feel bad about it, and then you're going to feel depressed, and then you're going to feel bad about yourself, and obviously that can spiral out of control. But if you don't know what you want, you have to ask yourself that question. You have to figure it out first so you can reach what you want. It's not gonna come. It's not gonna show up in an Amazon package at your door the next day. Like, for example, like when I say I want to get better, it didn't happen the next day. It happened in months. It took me a year and a half. But every time I reach a new milestone, I celebrate. That was a good job. So you can do that as well. If you know what you want and you know it's gonna take you time, then you come up with your plan. Okay, so for example, the 3,000 or 5,000 steps, however many steps you want to walk, you come up with a plan. It's like, okay, so if I do this, it's gonna give me like 500 steps, or if I do that, it's gonna give me 1,000. You come up with a plan, and after you figure out what you want. But the first step to get better, to reach a goal, is to know exactly what you want. And same thing happens to, and I mean, anybody can do this. Either if you're a spoonie, you can actually ask yourself, what do I want? If you want to get better, obviously you might have to do a lot of research, but don't put excuses as like I used to do. I used to say, like, oh, there's not enough time. There is enough time. If you really, really, really want it, you're gonna make the time. Believe me, I have learned that the in the most amazing way. Like, I wake up at 1:45 a.m. every day, so I can work out and do research and do this. And then after work, I spend time with my wife. Why? Because this is very important for me, because one of the things I also seen, this is why I do this, is that everything that I talk about, I say it to my wife, and I see the changes in her attitude. So I know that it takes time, but if you decide to stick to it, you might see some changes. But first, you need to know what you want. And the next thing is, like, if you're a spoonie or a caregiver, you also might want something. You might want to play the guitar. It's okay to play the guitar. You might want to go to the gym. It's okay to want to go to the gym. It's okay to do things. You have to take care of yourself too. Don't just give yourself to the spoonie. I'm not saying that's bad. It's actually bad for you, because you're not taking care of yourself. Like I said, giving yourself to the spoonie is not bad at all. But it's going to create burnout. So whatever you want, it doesn't matter if you're a spoonie, if you're a caregiver or not. Like I said, this is for everybody. You have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then you're just gonna wonder what exactly is what I want. You're gonna feel helpless. You're gonna feel hopeless. You're not gonna feel purpose. You're not gonna feel a purpose in your life. And obviously that can spiral out of control. It can turn into depression and anxiety because you don't know exactly what you want. You might want to impress people the wrong way. You might want to get material things just because you feel that that's what you want, but in reality that's not what you want. What you want is something that calls you. What you want, like I said, it's what you want. It will be part of your gift. Let me put it to you that way. That it will be part of your gift. Whatever you find as your gift, you that's pretty much what you're gonna want. Like, for example, you find that your gift is music. That you can create music. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to be a producer? You want to be a musician? You have two choices, or you can work with musicians. So that's why I wanted to ask this question, because a lot of people are going to ask you, and you're going to get tired of it, especially from doctors. When you go see a new doctor, you're going to get the same question. What brought you here? Or what exactly is it that you want? Or what do you need help with? It's all the same question. Like, what do you want? And if you don't have the answer, nobody's going to have it for you. So sometimes you have to look deep. Don't forget that. And that's what I wanted to talk about on today's episode. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and if you like the podcast, obviously share it, and also comment. I want to see your feedback. You can always send it to me on the email at the caregiverandspoony@gmail.com, and you can also share your stories. And if you give me your permission, obviously say it on the email. I will post them, and that's it for today. And I'll leave you with this: always take care of yourself. Have a good day.